Right, we're going to talk about Psalms again this week. The theme of this week is I will declare what he hath done for my soul.
The writers of the Psalms shared deeply personal feelings in their poetry. They wrote about feeling discouraged, afraid, and remorseful. At times, they even felt abandoned by God, and some psalms carry a tone of frustration or desperation. If you ever felt that way, reading the Psalms can help you know that you aren't the only one. But you will also find psalms that can encourage you when you're having such feelings, because the psalmist also praised the Lord for his goodness, marveled at his power, rejoiced in his mercy. They knew that they were burdened by evil and sin, but the Lord is good and ready to forgive. They understood that having faith in the Lord doesn't mean that you'll never struggle with anxiety, sin, or fear. It means that you'll know who to turn to. Redemption comes only through Jesus Christ.
So this is the first section, about 49 and 62.
It's a good looking tracker.
Psalm 49 has a message for both low and high, rich and poor. What would you say this message is? Let's read 49.
Hear this, all peoples, give ear, inhabitants of the world, both high and low, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak wisdom, the meditation of my heart shall be understanding. I will incline my ear to a proverb, I solve my riddle to the music of the lyre. Why should I fear in times of trouble, when the iniquity of those who cheat me surrounds me? Those who trust in their wealth and boast of the abundance of their riches. Truly no man can ransom another, or give to God the price of his life, for the ransom of their life is costly and can never suffice, that he should live on forever and never see the pit. For he sees that even the wise die, the fool and the stupid alike perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their graves are their homes forever, their dwelling places to all generations, though they call lands by their own names. A man in his pomp will not remain. He is like the beasts that perish. This is the path of those who have foolish confidence. Yet after them people approve of their boasts. Selah. Like sheep they are appointed for stroller. Death shall be their shepherd, and the upright shall rule over them in the morning. Their form shall be consumed in Sheol, with no place to dwell. But God will ransom my soul from the power of Sheol, for he will receive me. Selah. Be not afraid when a man becomes rich, when the glory of his house increases. For when he dies, he will carry nothing away. His glory will not go down after him. For though while he lives, he counts himself blessed, and though you get praise when you do well for yourself, his soul will go to the generation of his fathers, who will never see the light. Man in his pomp, yet without understanding, is like the beasts that perish.
What do you think the message is for the poor and the rich and the low and the high, based off of Psalm 49?
Stuff you build up for yourself here will not follow you. So you need to use this time to build up stuff up there.
Well, what does verse 20 say that you should build up?
Not your pomp.
Not your pomp. Don't build up your pomp. What should you build up?
Love and faith
Verse
and
20.
hope.
Understanding.
Understanding.
I was close.
Understanding of what?
Okay. Jesus' sacrifice for you.
The atonement?
Yep.
What else?
The world.
What about the world?
How every physical thing is pretty much pointless. Don't know.
What do you think? What does God want us to build up an understanding of? love, for sure. The gospel and truth.
Light.
What did you say? What was the last one? Joy. What did you say? Happiness. Exactly right.
Give yourself those time.
How do you build those things up in this fallen world? With the Spirit of the Lord? What does the Spirit of the Lord teach you on earth that it couldn't teach you before you came to earth in the pre-existence when you were just a spirit?
The experiences of Earth.
Pain.
Well, the Spirit doesn't teach you pain.
The understanding of pain.
What does the understanding of pain give you that you want to take with you for the rest of your eternity?
Understanding of not pain.
The understanding of not pain?
Well, it helps you know that you went through something. I don't know. Ugh. I tried.
Well, there has to be something that this physical experience gives you that just a purely spiritual experience cannot give you. There's a reason that we're given physical
To understand,
bodies.
to learn and understand.
It's hard, huh?
I don't understand the question. I mean, I do understand the question, but I mean, I don't understand the part that you said there are things that we can't. I don't know anything anymore.
What you're experiencing right now is an existential crisis. I'm just kidding. What you're experiencing now is a philosophical dilemma where you can't articulate the purpose of being here. So, what I'm asking you to do is not just an easy thing you can pop off the top of your head. It's a question that you can ask yourself and ponder. It's one of those pondering questions that while you're laying in bed in the morning, you can pray about and ask God, why couldn't I just stay with you in the pre-existence? Why did I have to come here and experience all of this? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he gives us clues in the scriptures. So that's why he wants us to read the scriptures, is so that our brains have something to use to gain the truth. Because here it says, a man a man in his pomp, yet without understanding, is like the beasts that perish. So that tells us that understanding all the things that identified, understanding those things is why we're here. One of the reasons that we're here. And so you go, well, if God went through all the effort to make this earth and make our bodies and says that we're supposed to be gaining understanding, maybe it's important. Maybe it's the most important thing. Maybe the way I look, or the things that I own, or the influence I have is all below me gaining an understanding of these eternal truths and placing them above all the other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Psalm 62 adds to that message. Let's see what it adds to it.
For God alone, my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress, I shall not be shaken. On God rests my salvation and my glory, my mighty rock, my refuge is God. Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Selah. Those of low estate are but a breath. Those of high estate are a delusion. The balances, they go up. They are together lighter than a breath. Put no trust in extortion. Set no vain hopes on robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart on them. Once God has spoken, twice have I heard this, that power belongs to God. And that to you, O God, belongs a steadfast love, for you will render to a man according to his work.
So, how does this psalm add to that message of what's important in his life? I think it's interesting how much the Odyssey comes up in this. Dad and I watched an adaptation of the Odyssey from the 90s.
Mhm.
Zeus is the head god of the Greek pantheon,
Right.
and what he says goes. But there are other gods. The one that Odysseus upsets is Poseidon. The reason I brought it up is because in that adaptation, Poseidon will not let Odysseus make it home. They fight in the Battle of Troy in the Trojan War, and they win. It's after the Trojan War, and he's trying to get home. That's where his Odyssey occurs. In this movie, Odysseus, they finally defeat Troy, and I think it's because is it Odysseus who's like we should do the Trojan horse.
Remember?
I don't know. I think it might be him. And then he feels like he doesn't need gods. Who do they think they are? Well, I'm pretty powerful on my own. I don't need them. And he yells that out to the ocean, like, who needs you? And then so that upsets Poseidon. And then they upset a bunch of other gods on their travels. Apparently the Cyclops is the son of Poseidon,
Yeah.
and so killing him or blinding him upset Poseidon. So they're just ticking off the gods left and right. And then in this movie, at the very near the end, before he goes home, he has been humbled for 20 years, and then he finally is like, talk to me, Poseidon, what do I have to do to appease you? And Poseidon says to him that you have to acknowledge that you're nothing without the gods. The gods, you have to rely on the gods for all things. And if you can acknowledge this, then I will let you go. I'll no longer hinder you on your journey. Odysseus finally acknowledges that he's nothing without the gods. It's interesting because through all of the Odyssey, everybody is in love with Odysseus.
Isn't he married?
He's married, yeah. All the goddesses are in love with him. He's so beautiful and manly and smart, and he has every good feature of a man. It's a good
Allegory?
Yeah, for this psalm, because Odysseus was the king of Ithaca. He was a king. He was wealthy, and after defeating Troy, was loaded with riches. And everywhere he went, people loved him. He had all these qualities that were the best of the best, that made everybody love him and just pour more riches on him and give him gifts and help him out. But because Poseidon had beef, and then he picked off Helios, the sun god, he got on the wrong side of the gods. And so what he ultimately wanted more than anything in life, he could not get. He could not have it. All he wanted was to go home and be with his wife and son. And he could not do it. The gods wouldn't let him. Didn't matter how hard he tried, or who he got on his side, or what he had, or his strengths, or anything. He could not. He had to sail on an ocean, or on the sea, to get home, because it's an island in the Mediterranean. And Poseidon, the sea god, has power over the ocean, and is like, sorry, you're not getting home. It'd be like if in Moana, if the ocean was like,
You're not getting to Maui.
you're not getting anywhere you want to go. So what reminded me of that was verse 11 here. So in verse 10 it says, if riches increase, set not your heart on them. Once God has spoken, twice have I heard this, that power belongs to God, and that to you, O Lord, belongs steadfast love. For you will render to a man according to his work. This is the opposite of every American feeling that we have grown. The power, according to American idealism, you are power. Your destiny is up to you. Your destiny is in your hands. You're the captain of your fate, and you owe nobody nothing, right? But this is saying that you don't set your heart on the things of this world. Don't do evil things in order to get more. And if you just get them from hard work or the blessings of God, don't set your heart on them, because the power belongs to God. What we should do is give him steadfast love that isn't conditional on anything. It's never-ending love. And he will give you your just reward, what you deserve. And so we rely on our relationship with him, but it's not just like it's not the welfare state. I think that's why it's so hard for humans to understand this relationship, is because we refer to this kind of relationship in political terms. It's not a welfare state. It's not like the big government where they have control over everything of yours and you have no choice, and then they give you what they think you should have. God is paradise. God is everything that our heart yearns for. And we learn, I think the understanding that we gain, that Psalm 49 tells us that is the point, is understanding that the value of what God is offering us and learning to value it above all the other stuff. Because where your heart is, there your treasure will be also, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wants you to go to the highest level of happiness. He doesn't want you to be moldering around in the pigsty. He wants you to live up in the heavens, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
So
wants you to be celestial.
yeah, he wants you to set your sight higher than the base elements of this world for your benefit. But he wants you to choose it. All right, reading these Psalms might inspire you to ponder the ways we are tempted to trust something other than God for our redemption. And we talked about that in our last one, didn't we? Was it our last one? I think it was, where we talked about how we go and find a different savior to get us through this life.
Yes, I think so.
Where people turn to alcohol and drugs and porn, and people turn to their strength. Odysseus was a mighty man, and he was like, I don't need anybody. I turn to myself. So in what ways are you tempted to trust something other than God for redemption in your personal lives? It's a natural thing to turn to what you can see and what is physically immediately available and responsive. And so you have to ponder how you cope with life, with the hard things in life, using these physical things rather than trusting in God. So we think, if I'm just prettier, then people will like me more. If I have more money, then people will want to be around me more. Or I'll have more power and can tell people what to do. If I'm, build enough muscle up, I'll be strong enough to handle whatever problems come my way. So, do you have a testimony that God will redeem your soul from the power of the grave?
Yes.
You have a testimony that you'll be resurrected?
Yes.
How does that influence your life?
Greatly.
Well, whenever I get discouraged, I think that it redirects me to God, and it helps me reignite my priorities of putting Him first. Because the world always fails you. The world always fails you. The things that you rely on to make you feel good or that make you feel like you're doing the right things, they always fail. And if you use those moments to remember that God has you, He's redeemed you, that the most important thing is still a powerful thing in your life, then it can wipe away your discouragement and give you hope. And then you get to feel gratitude and love every time that you ponder His atonement. And then it just makes your life a lot better. All right. Love you guys.
Love you, Mama.